$100 Million Offers has been a revolutionary book for so many people. And if you're unfamiliar of the book, you have to go check it out. It's by a guy named Alex Hormozi, and he wrote this book called $100 Million Offers. And if you're unfamiliar of how could I use this to build my own offer for my e-commerce business, so good that people feel stupid saying no to that offer, then what I want to do in this podcast is I'm going to break down in particular how you would take the $100 million offer framework and apply it to e-commerce. Now, I've personally just been a huge fan of Alex. Alex has wonderful content. If you've never followed Alex's stuff, just Google him and you will find everything from books to reels to YouTube videos and everything in between. And so I actually read his book back, ironically, 1 month after it released. And this was this was in August of 2021, if my brain serves me right. And I found this book for free on Kindle, and my wife and I were on this 2-week trip, and I decided I'm gonna go ahead and read this book. I have some time. It had a couple hundred reviews on Kindle and Amazon, and it looked pretty good. Sounded good, $100 million. I want $100 million, and I read it, and I'll tell you, it changed my life. And it actually sparked us to do a lot of the education that we do today. And so this is like my huge thank you to Alex, because we've taken the frameworks in his book and we have applied it to our business, but then also we've taken it and we teach it to our clients, and particularly how it applies for e-commerce businesses, because e-commerce businesses are a little bit different. And so in this, what I want to do is I'm going to walk through how to apply Alex's $100 Million Offers value equation and framework to your e-commerce business. But as a note, we're going to include a link in the description to his book. Go check it out if you want to just really dive into the weeds of it and see this even further. But the first thing I want to say is when we talk about offers, most e-commerce businesses think of an offer as a discount. But an offer is not a discount. Discounting is simply a process of lowering the effort or sacrifice for somebody to take action and buy from you. So it's a price, for example, is a lever you can pull. Discounting a purchase, a percentage off or dollar off or buy two, get one. That's a way to pull a lever of decreasing the sacrifice that they have to pay that we're going to talk about in a moment. But it is not an offer. It's a little piece of the offer. And so when most people think of it, their head immediately goes to discount or deal. And so I want to just start off by saying what I'm going to cover here is not like, hey, your offer is buy two, get one free. And so when we look at offers, we're going to look at the entire picture, because price is one thing to a good offer, but there are other things that can sometimes move the needle even more, but they are often skipped. Okay. Before we get to that, the reason that people buy anything is usually to get value, to get some sort of a deal where they believe that what they are receiving is greater than what they are giving up. And so in the book, and I actually had our team build this drawing here, which is a side note. If you're listening on the audio, definitely go check out YouTube. I'm gonna have my iPad here. I'm gonna be doing a little bit of drawing, but I'm gonna be talking through it in a way that you should be able to pick up and understand what's happening. So the challenge is people make decisions based on two things, and that is value and price. And the objective for them is to get a deal. And what is a deal? Well, a deal is when the value is greater than the price that they have to pay or what they have to give up in exchange for that value. And the moment that you reach this little, not peak, but valley of your value dropping lower than the price, that's when people cancel their subscriptions, or they just don't buy, or they stop buying from you. And so the challenge that we run in business is value is this race to the bottom of if price is the only thing I'm looking at and I have to keep decreasing my price in order to get value or to increase the value for them. But the problem is if your price keeps going down in order to increase your value, you're going to reach this point where you're just completely broke, right? Or you're not profitable in what you're doing. And so lowering price is a way to increase that discrepancy, but most of the time it's just a bad business decision because you can only go down until you're at $0, where you're charging $0. And so instead of focusing on decreasing the price to increase value, I want to encourage you to say, how do we focus on pulling other levers inside of my offer in order to increase the value in ways that are not only pulling things down? Okay, so that said, if people buy based on a deal, they want more value than the price that they're paying for, then what we need to do is we need to say, how do we increase the value so that they continue buying or they start buying and they continue buying and they refer and so forth. So we're gonna walk through, I wanna walk through the value equation. Because this is what these are the tools that you have to really pull inside of your e-commerce business to say, how do I increase that value? And the equation is pretty simple. There are 4 little pieces here. So the first part of the equation is your dream outcome. Your dream outcome. So this is selling the vacation. This is selling the experience. This is not just the features or the stuff that they get to do in order to get to the vacation. And a good example is, so we have a client called Pacific Hound and they sell dog gear. And we know that our ideal customer typically wants to feel a sense of status from what people say about the dog collars that they have. We also know that they have this desire to feel that they're taking good care of their dog. They want to feel this emotional connection. And so we want to speak to that. I could say, okay, is the dream outcome that I sell a dog collar and it's durable and it's high quality and it looks cute? And well, it could be, but most people don't buy based on the features and what the thing is. They buy based on how most things make them feel. And so thinking about your dream outcome, what I encourage you to do is step into the shoes of your customers and say, okay, I sell this product, but the dream outcome is not just buying the product. It's a lot of times the problem the product solves or how it makes them feel in a good or a negative, or what life would be like without it in a negative way. And so of the value equation, the first thing is dream outcome. So we're gonna take dream outcome times perceived likelihood of achievement. So we have dream outcome times perceived likelihood of achievement. So you have to ask the question, how certain is it that they're going to experience their dream outcome? Because the higher the perceived likelihood, the more likely they are to buy. So for example, and Alex gives this example, I think this is really great. If you're trying to get a six-pack, and you knew with 100% certainty that by drinking this shake or taking this pill every day for 30 days, that you would get a six-pack without any negative repercussions, how much would you pay for that shake? Well, or that pill or whatever that is, with no ramifications of doing that? Well, people would probably pay a lot of money for that if that's all it took. And so the goal is to increase the perceived likelihood of these two in dream outcomes. So these things on the top, our objective is to increase dream outcome and perceived likelihood of achievement. But at the same time, we want to decrease some other things. We want to decrease some things on the bottom. And so to decrease some things on the bottom, the first thing we have is time delay. And so if you can compress the time horizon that somebody is going to experience the dream outcome, then the value goes up. So 6 months, six pack in 6 months, or 60 days. Or you got to think fast shipping or immediate access to something, or maybe while they buy and they're waiting, they're going to get access to this community, because the faster the people get what they want, the faster they're going to then buy again. And I will say this, like if your product has an educational curve, ask yourself, like how long will it take them to understand what that is and experience the dream outcome? And so then we have time, so that's time delay. Then finally what we have over here is we want to decrease this, and that is effort and sacrifice. In other words, what do I have to give up in order to achieve the dream outcome? And if you add a discount, for example, like we just talked about a moment ago, you only speak to this aspect of the equation. And the problem is most people only do that. They only say, hey, I'm gonna discount and that is my offer. Well, that's part of the offer. That's part of the value equation. How people perceive your value. Price is one aspect of it, but you know what? There are probably other people in your industry that are not discounting and they're actually making a lot more money than you. but their total perceived value of the offer is much greater. So let's start with ways that we can increase our perceived likelihood of achievement. The first way is just with more reviews and success stories or testimonials. Ask yourself, like, how many do you have? Do you even take getting them seriously? Do you showcase them everywhere that you can on your website? Because if you have 0 reviews or only a few, then there's probably some work to do. Make some calls or shoot some personal emails out to get those reviews in. Incentivize them if you really want to make it happen, because reviews is just simply proof that your products achieve dream outcomes. Show your product in action. Right? Show your product in action, show the quality, show the fit, maybe reactions of somebody opening the box if the dream outcome has to do with emotional connection or gifting. Maybe have unboxing, whether that's in the ad or whether that's on the landing page, because unboxing decreases that risk of wondering what the heck comes in it or what's the quality of the products that I'm getting. Consider before and after photos and videos, and this tangibly shows that your product works, increasing the certainty of achieving the dream outcome. Have visual documentation. So for products with like educational curves to them, really have visual documentation to show people like, hey, it might be intimidating because of the learning curve with this, but we have visual documentation that will show exactly how to do this. Show the typical timeline and process of the results or the product usage. Add a sizing or a style guide, and this can just increase the confidence in making sure that, hey, the likelihood of me getting the right size just went up a ton. Add in additional support resources, like mention any available support that you have, show online tutorials, a customer service hotline for questions, or a chat, making the experience as smooth as possible. Include in there case studies of your customers. Are there any studies that you've done that you can share that show people what the average customer experiences? So those are ways you can increase the perceived likelihood of achievement. Now I want to move to the bottom half, and I want to look at, okay, how can we decrease the time delay? Well, what we can go ahead and do is we can offer Shop Pay or other checkout options. All right, because some people, they just want to move quickly. They hate having to fill in all of their information when they're checking out, and this speeds up the buying process. I'm the exact same way. I hate it. I love Shop Pay. It makes my life a lot easier. Consider shipping faster. Like, you might not be Amazon, but are you able to ship things quicker than you already are? Can you offer instant access to something? Like, can you give them instant access to give them that instant gratification before the product arrives? I'll give you an example. So one of our clients, they ship out seasonal stuff, and then you have these in-betweens where people are kind of in limbo, like they're paying and they're waiting for the box to arrive later in the season. And so they could create a Facebook group. I just made this recommendation. You can create a Facebook group for those box subscribers that get their stuff 4 to 5 times a year and in the in-between. And then you could deliver additional ideas and stuff for them to hang of stuff they could do with their kids and movies they can watch with the kids through the summer while they're waiting on the fall box. Consider giving them access to that community right away, because people love to be around other people just like them. And a community can help them immediately, from a time standpoint, find those people while that product ships. Can you offer a video mini series? Could you get them learning about your product before it arrives, how it works, best ways to use it for best results, so that their time to use your product and achieve the results of the product, the dream outcome, goes down. That time delay of achieving that goes down. Can you outline how long it takes to do, if it's a craft as an example, how long does it take to do? How long does it take to set up or install or start to see those results? Does your product involve time investments in order to use them? If so, consider showing how it saves them time or how long it takes to complete the projects. And so use those in your product pages. Send instructions, like, do you have inserts with the instructions that will make it easier for them in the box to get started versus them having to figure out how to use it on your own? I can't tell how many times we've ordered products and they come in, and we order a lot of products because we like to try things and do funnel reviews and stuff like that. And we've gotten so many products at our office here that have no instructions on how to use them. It's just a product in a box with some stuffing. And that's literally it. Do people have to figure it out on their own? Well, guess what? The time delay just went way up to use or experience your product fully and experience that dream outcome fully. And so what happens is you probably are gonna lack repeat purchases. Ask yourself, Do I have solid post-purchase emails? Do my post-purchase emails prepare them for the product arrival so they know how to get moving in using the product very quickly? So those are ways that you can decrease the time delay. And like I said, we're gonna include these below so that way you can go ahead, whether you're listening or you're watching this, you're gonna be able to see these just so you don't have to remember what I just said here. You can actually go check those out. Then finally, we have effort and sacrifice. And so these are ways to do it. And the first one is that we generally see move the needle pretty heavily is to offer a discount. This could be dollars off, percentage off, buy X, get Y, free gets with purchase, etc. And offers might differ based on your business model, but we see that testing different discounts is one of the fastest ways to move the needle inside a cash cow offer. And they can increase the efficiency of ads dramatically and help you acquire customers much faster and much more affordably. Also consider payment plans. Like this works really nicely if you have a higher priced item and you can break it down into these smaller chunks for them. Show that it's, and I've said this earlier, that it's easy to skip. And this is mostly for the subscription boxes out there. But if it's not obvious, people might believe that they're locked into this long thing versus only month to month. And so highlight this on your website to decrease the sacrifice or the effort that they believe it's gonna be to cancel or the perceived sacrifice. Consider outlining an easy cancellation process or how your returns and your exchanges work. Don't make it like finding a needle in a haystack for somebody to understand, okay, well, what if this doesn't fit me? What if this doesn't fit me? What if it doesn't work? Outline all that stuff. And a great example or a great use case of this is on your product page, have an exchanges. If you're like in the apparel or you do exchanges of some kind, have like how exchanges work or returns and exchanges in a toggle on the product page. So they can just toggle it down and it opens it up and it says, hey, here's how the process works. Don't make it like finding that needle in a haystack. Make it very simple because that's gonna decrease the effort or the perceived sacrifice. Show your guarantee. And then this helps with that reversal of risk. This could be like 30-day money back guarantee. There are conditional guarantees. There are different types of guarantees, but the general idea is if you have a guarantee, show it. We've worked with clients that have lifetime warranties, and we can't find that anywhere until you go like to the junk drawer of their footer of their website and then see that they have a lifetime warranty. So many customers that clients we've worked with don't show that. If you have a lifetime warranty, call it out. That's gonna help people first of all, perceived likelihood of achievement goes up because they're like, okay, well, this person is backing what they say with a lifetime guarantee. And then also, my sacrifice goes down a lot because like, I know that this will work or I will get my money back, or I know that this will not break on me because it has a lifetime guarantee and I know that I will get it replaced. You could also allow guests to check out. Like, do they have to create a profile to check out? Or can they just check out as a guest? Can they do it quickly? It's gonna decrease the sacrifice of their time. That kind of goes along with time delay as well. Can you remove, this is a big one, can you remove decision fatigue? Do you have too many options or variants? Do you offer too many sizes and colors and weights, etc., that just overwhelms people? Like if you have a subscription box, do you need to offer a month-to-month, a 3-pay, a 6-pay, a 12-pay, and then one-time purchases for each one of those along with 3 different box sizes? You see, it's a lot of decision fatigue. Also, can we decrease information fatigue? Ask yourself, does my page have too much information on it and requires boatloads of unnecessary scrolling for them to simply make a buying decision? So these are all ways that we can increase the value of our offer. And of course, this is all based around Alex's $100 million offer value equation. I love it. It's fantastic. We use it in our business. Our clients use this all the time. And remember that discounts and deals do not equal offers. It's one lever. It's the effort and sacrifice lever when you're pulling those. And so I'm not going to get into offer enhancers in this because there are so many, but take the time to do this. We've seen customers cut their cost per acquisition by 90% and higher by simply figuring this stuff out, figuring out what moves your ideal customers and your prospective customers when they're coming in from traffic. And so this is how we apply the $100 million offers value equation. How we apply it to e-commerce is a little bit different. Sometimes what you might read in the book, if you're a fan of Alex, you've read the book, maybe it's a little bit harder to understand how to apply that. So we want to give some tangible examples. And what we're gonna do is in the description of this, we're also going to go ahead and include everything that I just listed and a little bit more to get your gears turning on ways that you can increase perceived likelihood of achievement, decrease time to delay, and decrease the effort and sacrifice.